Hey everyone, and welcome back to Hoopers Nation, your top destination for NBA basketball content. From Lakers versus Celtics to Warriors versus Cavaliers, the NBA has seen some iconic and truly memorable basketball rivalries. And with social media becoming such an integral part of modern basketball, starting beefs has never been easier and more entertaining for players, fans, and media members alike. Rivalries have evolved from on-court battles to back-and-forth jabs on Twitter and Instagram. We recently saw popular basketball media personality Skip Bayless make some highly critical remarks about Portland Trail Blazers star Damian Lillard, claiming, among other things, that Lillard is yet to prove that he deserves to be called a true superstar. However, this rivalry goes way back before the league resumed its season in the NBA campus in Orlando. In this video, we'll take a look at the story and the drama between Skip Bayless and Damian Lillard, dating back to the start of the social media beef earlier this year. But before we do, please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more NBA content. With that said, let's go back to where it all began. This whole beef started back in May. The initial plans for an NBA bubble started to surface as the league explored ways to resume its season amid the coronavirus pandemic. At this point, the Blazers had a 29-37 record and struggled at times throughout the regular season due to the absence of Jusuf Nurkic. Their performance was certainly considered a bit of a disappointment after Portland got to last year's Western Conference Finals and brought their A-game to the Golden State Warriors. It was at this time that Damian Lillard told Yahoo Sports' Chris Haynes that he had no interest in returning to the court if the Blazers didn't have a chance to make the playoffs, given how disappointing the record was. Lillard said, "If we come back and they're just like, we're adding a few games to finish the regular season, and they're throwing us out here for meaningless games and we don't have a true opportunity to get in the playoffs, I'm going to be with my team because I'm part of the team, but I'm not going to be participating. I'm telling you that right now." These comments did not sit well with Skip Bayless, who went on his Undisputed show the next morning and voiced his displeasure with Lillard's remarks. Not only did Bayless feel like Lillard's stance was a threat to the NBA's attempt to finding a solution to the season stoppage, but also that the Blazers star had done nothing to become that type of spokesman on the league's behalf. Bayless said, "We were in the middle of a pandemic, and everyone in the sports business, including us sitting right here at this desk, and we were stuck at home at that point. We were depending on the NBA to go to the bubble and try to save sports for us by showing us how they could bring sports back safely. And by the way, they have achieved that." Being completely honest, Bayless had a point in disagreeing with Lillard. With his comments, Lillard was sending a message to the league office basically implying that if the new format for the season restart didn't give the Trailblazers a chance to make the playoffs, he was sitting out as a way of protesting. That could have paved the way for other big names on non-playoff teams like Zion Williamson from the New Orleans Pelicans or Devin Booker from the Phoenix Suns to follow in Lillard's footsteps, something that was a very bad look for the NBA and obviously not in the league's best interest. But Bayless went over the limit when he claimed Damian Lillard was not a superstar and had no right to speak up on such matters. He said, "My point is, Damian Lillard has often spoken out like he's one of these leaders in the NBA. He sometimes speaks as if he's LeBron James. LeBron is obviously the face of this league and has earned the right to be the face of this league. And so I kind of wondered out loud on TV to you, what exactly has Damian Lillard ever won to achieve this kind of stature in the league? Because seriously, he's won nothing." Lillard might not have won an NBA championship or an MVP award yet, but he is a 5-time NBA All-Star and a 4-time All-NBA player, as well as the 2013 Rookie of the Year. And even leaving those accolades aside, Lillard is and has been the star player on a consistently good team since his arrival to the league. Whatever comment he makes is one thing, but saying he's not allowed to even comment on league matters is something absolutely different, and it's insane when you really think about it. After his initial response, Lillard reached out to Bayless via text, asking what he had done to get to challenge what Dame himself had done in the league. Bayless then immediately called Lillard in what ended up being an hour-plus back-and-forth conversation between both. Skip's whole argument centered on, what has Lillard done to deserve to be that kind of spokesman for the NBA? Lillard's response was, "Since I came into the league, I've been one of the clutchest players in the NBA." "I'm sorry, I haven't seen it yet," said Bayless recently on his show, saying that wasn't enough to make him that kind of player. "I told him on the phone, you just need to show me. You can shut me up by doing it. I can't stop you. I can't go out and even try to guard you, but you can stop me. Silence me. Silence me by just doing it. When you get chances in these big games, just go do it." And going back to the Trailblazers game against the Los Angeles Clippers, one in which Kawhi Leonard was out resting, Lillard infamously missed 2 straight free throws with the Blazers down by 1, essentially giving up a game that the Clippers didn't even mind losing. Bayless then tweeted, "I'm still not buying Dame time." And apparently the Clippers aren't either. That's how the fire caught new wood and the beef once again got renewed. "I have never been buying nothing from you, fam. You would joke. And after our private convo full of backpedaling, you'll never have my respect," Lillard responded on Twitter, making sure to add the clown emoji at the end of his tweet. That came after Dame had already had multiple exchanges with Patrick Beverley and Paul George, the latter of who has rivalry history with Lillard dating back to last year's bad shot that eliminated the Oklahoma City Thunder from the playoffs and caused a full overhaul on that team's roster. Since that Clippers loss, Lillard has been on a different level. He scored a total of 154 points in the Blazers' last 3 bubble seeding games and led them to the 8th seed in the Western Conference. Then, against the Memphis Grizzlies in the play-in game for the playoffs, Dame went for 31 points and 10 assists as the Trailblazers officially secured a spot in the NBA playoffs and a first-round matchup against the Los Angeles Lakers. Lillard was also named Most Valuable Player from the seeding games portion of the season. 2 games after missing those 2 crucial free throws against the Clippers, Lillard tied his high of 61 points and got a close win against the Dallas Mavericks. Bayless definitely noticed him as he tweeted, "Damian Lillard is playing like he's mad at somebody." And you can bet he was. But that didn't stop Bayless from continuing to criticize Lillard despite dropping 61 and getting the win. How lucky was Damian Lillard? Dame Dollar missed the money J, then happened to be in right place, right time to get run over for an offensive foul that canceled the 3 his man made. Read his following tweet. "Now I want to see Damian Lillard finish it off versus dangerous Nets, then win just one of potential 2 games versus play-in team, then take it to the Lakers, and make up for his shockingly unclutch 4th quarters versus no KD Warriors in last year's West Finals," was his latest social media bomb towards Dame. But again, the bashing did not stop there. Bayless returned to Undisputed the next morning and continued his verbal assault. It was Dame time for 46.5 minutes, and then it wasn't. In the last 1:30 of that game, Damian Lillard got shaky, and he got lucky. He then went on to describe the whole sequence, completely disregarding the magnificent performance Lillard had through the whole game, and stood opposite as Chris Broussard and Shannon Sharpe sung the praises of Dame. Even Sharpe had enough of Bayless, saying, "Skip Bayless is the type of guy that can have a great meal, everything is perfect, but because the waiter didn't fill his glass up with water on time, he'll go, 'Man, this was terrible. You just missed the entire meal because the waiter was a little late with the water.'" Yes, Lillard deserved criticism after losing the Clippers game, but doubling down on his criticism as the man scored 50-plus and 60-plus on back-to-back games is lunacy. And it would seem even crazier to continue bashing Lillard as he's now the bubble MVP and is now in the playoffs. But you guessed it, Bayless did. Weird, Damian Lillard, superstar, scored 0 field goals in the 4th quarter, but his teammates took over and erased an 8-point lead by the won't quit Grizz. Dame time, superstar. Bayless had been bashing Lillard on Twitter for most of the second half of the play-in game, and after his last quote, he continued to tweet about how unclutch Lillard has been, how he choked against the Warriors, his playoff percentage, and more. Skip is dead set on proving a point with all his nitpick statistics, but fortunately for Lillard and the Blazers, they made it into the playoffs with their big star leading the way. Maybe if Lillard breaks Wilt Chamberlain's single-game record of 100 points in the Lakers series, he'll finally admit Lillard's a superstar. What do you think? Is Damian Lillard truly a superstar? Do you agree with Skip Bayless and think Lillard is not as clutch as he's made out to be? Whose side are you on? Make sure to comment your thoughts down below, as well as leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. I'll see you on the next one.